Bootleg. CDs, DVDs. Yeah, right here, sir. I'll take that. I'll take that. Blessings. Well, this is a little behind the scenes moment. Um, you know, I'm in this space, in this beautiful space, with like so much power present. I just love to see visual representation of things that I talked about.
Word.
You know, like brothers can do positive things. I feel like I'm walking into like a boomerang shot.
Yeah.
Like you is this is quality. It's like this energy of greater things are possible. Not
For
just
sure.
off of word, but off of action. So it's made me reflect, like I'm stepping into a space where I have ability to change a lot more than I realized. And it's not just off of my words, but it's because of the actions that I continue to put out there, the seeds I've continued to sow.
Right.
So as I'm like recognizing the value of what I'm offering, I'm like, I need to match that in some ways that I haven't fully sat with. But when I say gratitude is with everything in my soul. But I will start it like this. I am a guy from a place, CharmCityBipper, Quis The Vndl. Marquis is the name my mother blessed me with. My father helped too. I'm here with a gentleman, right? A gentleman from the South. But he's up in my city, giving love and joining into the community in a way that I respect greatly, because I stepped into this space and I didn't leave with who I was. I just was like, hey man, I like what y'all got going on in here. And then I find out more, and I'm giving codes. Like when brothers give codes without any expectation for a return, it says a lot about character.
Of course.
So, London, P. Young,
Nice to meet everybody, man.
flies.
I try. Welcome. We're in Branded Bespoke, where we specialize in custom curation of all kinds. So similar to the aesthetic that I have on, or anything that you can think of, we got you covered. In the Townsend Mall, 4th floor, right next door to Starbucks, where we don't miss, man.
They don't.
And so, to your point, we just really want this space to be a cultural hub. And just have open and candid conversations about what we want to do and how you should look while you're doing it. People from all walks of life come and mess with us, man. And I'm blessed to be in the position that I am, and to work in a space where the only thing or profit that I want is for people to feel confident in the way that they present themselves. That's what's fulfilling to me. You do what you love, the money will come. And so, like I said, I can't say anything other than being grateful, expressing gratitude at every moment that I can, and continuing to be creative, push the envelope. And I'm in a space where my medium of expression is how I present myself. And there's no pure feeling in that.
I love that y'all also challenge each other.
Oh, of course.
And I say that because steel sharpen steel. Like iron sharpen iron. Like that battle tested. But it's better to have your brothers do it than somebody that's outside of the culture, or somebody that really don't got the love.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like when I can see the love in real time, and I'm reminded that's valuable.
Of course.
Like that's the part as well with manhood. Like I've been reminded of humility in times where it wasn't even at the front of my mind. How you doing? Yeah. It's his brothers. He's like, yeah, he's starting to make it make sense. He's like, how? Why is he have a suit on? Let me stop.
Man, and that's the thing. That's a part of it. Like people will walk past and truly become curious because they haven't seen it before. They haven't watched it be done to this capacity. I feel like this is a newer concept in this mall as far as true bespoke handmade custom curation. It's a lot of quick fixes and easy if you just need something in the moment, but true artisanship is lost. And so continuing to try to put that back into the community and then doing it from a Black perspective, I feel like it's a lasting impact.
Absolutely.
That people will
see. It's so much of a bigger than us thing, and that's what I see at the onset. Like even with the vision board on the table, and it's so many faces a value that are forgotten intentionally, but not by us.
Oh,
It's
word.
like, oh yeah, that didn't happen. Black writers? What Harlem Renaissance? Like that should be the
Yeah,
first thing we speak about
of
when we
course.
start Black History Month. Like
You
these
know
are
what
the
I'm
things
saying?
I'm thinking of. The dream deferred. These are the moments that built me.
Come on, man.
Like, you know, these this education of a Negro, Invisible Man, these things I pushed back against in high school because of who gave it to me. But then I came back to it as a man, like, yo, I'm disrespectful.
Yeah.
Like, what am I on?
You got to know your history to know where you're going. You know what I'm saying? The plights against us, and the intentionality of holding us down. You know what I'm saying? Once you know, you're better equipped to navigate in the world that's currently in front of you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Figure out what your angle is and attack it. You know what I'm saying? There's no real boundary that you can't overcome. You know what I'm saying? You may hit a bump in the road. There may be a hurdle that you can see in front of you, but get over it. To the best of your ability, and then use your resources. Lean on your people to help you see it through. But everything can be overcome, I believe.
One thing I've recognized is, like, in this current time, a lot of people have lost sense of a spiritual foundation.
I can dig it.
So sometimes as I'm giving advice, I'll see people have these pushbacks where they're like, that doesn't work. I'm like, if that's the only tool you're using, if all you use that is affirmation, you gonna struggle. But if your affirmation is backed by God, if your affirmation is backed by the prayers of your ancestors, like this morning, I woke up thinking about that part. Like, I'm living in not only the prayers of people that lived before me, but I'm living in the prayers of the kid I was. The kid in East Baltimore that's like, I want to see something different than this. And it's seeing it. Like, we got club music about to go off at Drill Hill Park tomorrow for Afram. Like, it's a whole celebration of the club music history of my city.
Yeah.
And I remember when I'm coming up, it's like, like every Friday. So it's like those things had got pushed to the side as certain things have fallen away and life goes the way it goes. But this space reminds me of those humble beginnings, and it's also built by brothers from that era.
Yeah, my brother Devin, Nehemiah, Adrian, really from the city and have gone and blossomed into their own things. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Adrian, just signed with the New York Jets. You know, the company was started in Harlem. Having that connection back to the city is going to be major for us. And if y'all didn't know, each and every Wednesday in the Townsend Mall, man, we're doing Wine Down Wednesday, complimentary wine as well as a store shopping experience, custom mock-up process and fittings to get a real deal, like, touch and feel for what we're capable of in this space and what we really want to do. And so alongside that, we're having a local pop-up shop inside of the store as well on the 30th of June. So come through, man. Come fill it out. Come see what we're about, man. And I promise you, you'll leave just as elevated and motivated to go attack what you do on a personal basis, but look good doing it. You know what I'm saying? So take ownership of how you present yourself to the world, I would say.
Absolutely. It's so much power in it. And it's a lot of pushback at times I've had it myself where I'm like, my perception doesn't mean this, my character. It's like, have both.
Yeah.
Lean into both sides of it. Your character is pushed that much further when you smell good, you look good, and you like, it help you feel good. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing lost.
Yeah, I honestly feel like it's supposed to be a part of you. It's your that's a part of your personality, your hygiene, how you take care of yourself, how you keep yourself up. That is your character. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
Like, you can look at somebody and immediately understand how they feel about today by the way that they or what they put on. You know what I'm saying? So, like, being intentional about waking up, dressing to the nines, or just dressing in a way that people understand you before you have to speak. You dig?
That's
and
the
so
part.
When they look at you, they know who you are. You are the CharmCityBipper. You got it plastered. You know what I'm saying? You are your walking billboard and your biggest fan. So when they see you, they understand that. What I want people to understand is that I care. And I understand, like, this is an art. You know what I'm saying?
Art.
It's a different type. You don't need a paintbrush, but we can include a paintbrush if you want to. I'll paint a suit. We'll do it all. So it's like,
Yes, sir.
having that space to be creative and kind of allow your ideas to surface and become tangible is the only thing I ever wanted.
I also want to mention this brother has immense amounts of game. I said immense amounts of game. Said that the stripe going down the joint on a suit that you barely can't see, but you can see. That's royal. That's regal. Is it Prince Williams? Am I saying it wrong?
Prince of Wales check.
Prince of Wales.
So yeah, it's a check pattern that has a diagonal line that goes through. That's blue. Speaking to the Prince of Wales, that was his favorite pattern.
Yes.
One of the sharpest guys to come through the world. You know what I'm saying? But
Yes.
even with people like that, like, they don't look like us though. You know what I'm saying? That was a moment that was captured and established what menswear was. While we was doing the same thing, if not better. You know what I'm saying? In our own type of way. And that's really what communities like Harlem, Tulsa, Sweet Auburn in Georgia, different communities that were really about the uplift of Black people.
Yes.
And, you know, I might say something a little controversial. Segregation wasn't that bad when we think about it from a Black business perspective.
I'm saving this for us.
You know what I'm like?
No, and I know every talking point to it because I sat into
I don't
it.
want to say that as far as like we need separation. When there was separation, it gave us the opportunity to own our communities.
What does separation bring? Elevation.
Come on now.
Separation brings elevation. When you integrate somebody into a home that you don't really want to be a part of, it's nothing for them to do but be your pet.
Yeah, bro. Like, it was high key to our detriment. Like, the
Absolutely.
communities that really flourished from having the opportunity to just have their own, no longer have their own. You know what I'm saying? Or are left to waste. And I hate that. But in knowing that, we've overcome. You know what I'm saying? We've found out. We've used e-commerce. We've gotten our own brick and mortars again. So it's not.
Yes.
It's holding us back. But that's how you look at the past to understand your future and the way that you're supposed to do it now, moving forward.
That's what's so powerful. Even in you mentioned in the Harlem Renaissance, the fashion Renaissance, like the fashion of Black America.
Yeah, man.
Like what's so sad is we were.
Sorry about that.
It's business. Get busy.
Thank you for calling Brandon B. Spoke. This is London speaking, man.
I'm just cutting out for a second. How y'all doing?
Hello. Telemarketer.
Hey, we got to answer that phone though.
This spam likely stuff, man. Hi.
But those parts, man.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I sit with like, okay, we were the blacksmiths. We were everything that we had to be.
Yeah.
And I love history because a lot of people don't speak on Reconstruction, how we had so many Black leaders coming out of slavery. So 1870, we're in Congress, we have Black senators, Klan hits in like the 1880s. They start this hateful movement by the 1900s. We're talking Birth of a Nation. They put out the media jargon to Sambo, Coon, Baboon, all of this N-word ain't that energy. And we watch it evolve into this hateful space. But the one thing I always sat with when I was in class, looking through these history books, and I took an art history class too that put a lot of perspective in it. Like they make Jesus white after a certain point, and they have no problem telling you that in the history book, but they won't say it out loud in media.
Word.
They have many brothers hanging from trees in suits as sharp as yours. What does that tell you about the type of person that is being hung? They're ripping suit clothing off of them.
Insane. And I'm from Mississippi, kind of almost like the originator of this mindset. And so just truly understanding that we've been put in a position to where our value is almost attached to how susceptible other communities are of us as an individual. You know what I'm saying? We know in a greater scheme that they may not truly resonate or fuck with, for lack of better words, our community. But if you can cross the barrier line, everybody is either cheering for you or you become now a token. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it needs to be more intention about creating spaces that are meant for us. You know what I'm saying? To elevate and to network and to grow our net worth within each other and not feel like we have to go outside of ourselves to really elevate in a different type of way. Now, granted, it's not bad to go outside of the community and still build connections with people that don't look like you, but it has to be done with intention. Not necessarily just because you feel like we aren't capable, because we're capable of all things.
All things.
All things.
All things, and then some. And then some. As I'm sitting in this Black-owned space, I want to mention Black-owned initiatives in the city. Keeping Hopes Alive, We Responders Incorporated, Mr. Johnson Family Foundation, Tendea Family, Baltimore Homeless Project. And it's so funny that I'm rattling them off the top of my head because I always get stumped. Juneteenth is this weekend. There's so many Black-owned community organizations and Black-owned restaurants, Black-owned art spaces. Baltimore Black Genius Art Space. I know they're off of Utah Street, right next to Lexington Market. The whole row of Howard Street, where you got Couples Tea, Vinyls and Pages, Kaiser Creamery, you got Juicery, all in one strip, all Black business, right? So as I sit with the reality in my city, and I could probably say my city, CharmCityBipper, like, it's so much Black excellence going on, and there's so little coverage of it, one. And the second part is we're not showing up for them the best that we can.
Say that.
I'm not going to sugarcoat that. We are not showing up the best that we can, because if I post it and you like, oh, I didn't know about that, that's a problem. That means we're not moving through these spaces the way we're supposed to. And if you see it, go be about it.
Yeah.
Codetta Big Shop, Hugh Cafe and Apothecary, Greenmount West Community Center is what I should have started with. Apologies. I love y'all. I worked in that space with individuals who are doing awesome art and showing up for youth in a way that was not fathomable for me. Like, I could not see that vision, and I saw it in real time in a space where they told me it didn't exist.
Hard.
So this is why I sit with, I'm grateful, I'm appreciative, even to being here and have met y'all less than 2 weeks. It's been this much time, and to be getting this much information, this much love, this much light. I need people to understand that these stereotypes that we continue to perpetuate of Black people don't support Black people are started by you saying it. As long as you say it, it's alive.
Facts.
It's still alive. When you say it, I don't say it.
But the thing is, I feel like support ain't always monetary. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't always monetary.
It doesn't necessarily have to be tender exchange. We more so want to create a space and be in spaces where it's nothing but genuine energy. It's like, what do you do? What do I do? What am I passionate about? What are you putting into action? And how do those things synergize? If that warrants X, Y, and Z, by all means, of course. We are running a business, but it's about just even acknowledging that these things are happening around you, and telling a friend that may need the services if you don't. And so that's been a challenge for me, moving here, adjusting, and really figuring out what's happening around me. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the types of people that I want to meet and just chop it up with. You know what I'm saying? And if something grows from that, which I know it will, then oh shit, that's where I was supposed to be.
Get busy.
That's where I was supposed to be. But yeah, man, like, I already knew, like, from our first conversation when you just came in, open, pure, just like what it is, what y'all do, and allowed us the opportunity to give you an experience that you now can speak to the strength of. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing dicey, it's nothing mixy about being here. Like, I just encourage everyone to just come, be in the space, and be within spaces of people that just want to help in some type of way and not looking for anything of malice to gain.
Yes. Your two greatest tools in networking and going to spaces is showing up without expectation and showing up with non-judgment.
For sure.
Naturally, judgments will form. Naturally, you'll try to assign something to something. That's just what we do. We try to make sense of it. But allow somebody else to give you the definition of the things you're trying to claim. You're trying to say.
For sure.
So is that thing where it's like, oh, this hat. What's that? Because this hat. Because people have done to me, like, where you get this hat? Like, I got this hat from wherever I got it. Do you like it? I enjoy the denim in it. I like the fact that I was able to come up with the logo in my own time, and I like what it says. It represents Be Love, Love Baltimore. Bippity. Be Love, Love Baltimore. How you doing? Good. It represents a lot of things to me. And Be Love, Love Baltimore is an affirmation. It's to say that I remember a time where I was afraid to say I'm from Baltimore because I was tired of having to say it's not like The Wire.
Yeah.
I was tired of having to be like, oh, my city ain't that bad. I was tired of having to be like, I don't sell drugs. Like, I was tired of that constant having to defend something I love.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we're on the other side and there's still things going on, I need us to really lean into the positivity. Lean into the fact that there's multiple black businesses in this mall right now that are open and will thrive and are thriving, whether we show up or not, right? Because it's other parts of the community, other communities. You said it's other communities who support our businesses.
That's right.
Like, it's other communities that support me. And I have to do this thing of like, but I'm still for my people. So it's like these ways, these things we're so quick to say, but not know fully about.
Right.
This is why it's like non-judgment. Always assume that you don't know, because you don't. I don't know everything it took, but I know it took some effort and I can see it because I'm humble enough to say these black men have been doing work.
That's love. And we're not the only ones in this space. Shout out to Different Regard, Steven and Dominic over there. The Gentleman's Closet. Shout out my man Irv, custom hat maker, clothier as well.
Yes.
And Jermaine, Rock. Shout out to Black Men's Wear. It's a lot of great guys. My boy Greg, Steven. Shout out to the Mortgage Gentleman. I mean, it's a lot of great guys that truly love and breathe this space. You know what I'm saying? Like presenting themselves to a whole new level and really creating a lane for people to express themselves similarly. Like your own style and aesthetic it can bring something or change something in someone when they see it and truly inspire them to do something different. So
absolutely
being intentional about how you look, why you look that way, and the artistry of it down to the nitpick detail it's the only way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Go that far deep in whatever you're passionate in.
All the way.
Rabbit hole, yo.
Straight up.
Rabbit hole.
Ain't no half stepping. Cause you you try to keep your one foot on land, 1 foot in the water, you wildin'.
Nah, you ain't all the way in. You feel me? You ain't all the way in. Yes. But that's okay. Like some spaces you can just dip your toe in, get a feel for it. You feel me?
Know where you are, know when you are.
Everybody's on their own journey. We meeting each other where we at. You feel me? And so whatever, find that thing that drives you that you would do if nobody paid you. You know what I'm saying?
The part. I get that question so much.
If it was nothing in the world that you would need to do this because you just did it because it motivated you and you just in your spirit feel moved to do and tell people about, that is your lane, yo. And fall in love with that and fall in love with the process of becoming better at it.
Yes.
You feel me? Grow 1% each day and don't just stop at one.
Don't just stop at one.
You know what I'm saying? Don't be satisfied ever. Don't be satisfied ever. Continue to grow.
Stay
in
hungry.
all aspects.
Yes, stay hungry. It's amazing because that's what this is founded in.
For sure.
Not only this space, I know that this space is founded in that. The whole podcast is run off of, if there's nothing that I have to make money from, if there's no need for the validation of others, if there is like, if every day is the last day, what are you finna do?
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful for every second. Like, I know how I started my day. I know where this is going. I know why this is going, where it's going. I know it's a young black man that I taught in a school building that's keeping up with this.
Word.
Multiple, right? So when they see, oh, Mr. Carrington is out here with these brothers in suits, he out here with these guys selling funnel cake, he out here, like when they able to put a real-time reference to the messages I told them in the classroom. Because I went from preaching it like, you talk too much, Mr. Carrington. You always telling us something inspirational. You need to go. I said, all right, bet. And I made my plan and I ran. So from January to now, January is only, I laugh because I say my 5-month-old. I got a 5-month-old and summer just started. And I'm just like, this is so much bigger than me.
Yeah, for sure.
This is, like I said, this is prayers of people who were told what they weren't. This is my grandfather walking through Patterson Park and like getting threatened by people on his way home from work. Working class man. That's working crazy. To feed his family. Being threatened just for being himself, just for being a black man. So I used to get irritated because I'm like, even as we sit with in this era, like respectability politics, this space of like, you gotta wear this to be treated like that. It's like some people just ain't got no love for you at all. They don't care what you show up as. They don't care what you show up in. They not finna respect you.
Facts.
My grandfather and a lot of black men of that era were walking around in suits, shirts, and ties to their jobs, and still were not valuable to nobody. So that's where it's like, I find a value in knowing that they made it through, and I got to keep going for them. Yeah. And myself. Always. And the ones to come. And the ones that come.
Because you don't know who paying attention to you, yo.
Don't know.
Big or small. Big like, and I take so much precedent in the small. How you doing, bro? Welcome back, my man.
Yes. We're going to take a commercial break. It is what it is. Love y'all, man. Dip into it. Yes. Yeah. We were searching for the right way, did a lot of wrong. Can't go back, gotta move on. Gotta move forward, corrections given and accept the living. Still brings pain, even when you're moving with the best intentions. And you blessed with visions of joy, bliss, peace. Gratitude for every day I live to speak and I live to breathe in growth and abundance.